Welcome to this video. Today we are going to learn about HTML. HTML is the basic foundation for web development. It is the code structure of the web page. Okay, so let us start the HTML. So what are all the things we are going to learn in this HTML? So introduction, history of HTML, the structure of HTML, headings, text formats, links, images, comments, and list, tables, forms, and HTML5 elements like audio, video, and other things. Okay, let us start with the introduction of HTML. So HTML is a hypertext markup language. So HTML is standard markup language. So HTML is only the standard markup language used in the web development. It structures the content on the web page. So just take one example. If we are constructing our house, so it is having different phases, right? So first we are creating the structure of our house, like hall, kitchen. So like we are creating with the walls. So just we create the first structure of our house, right? So that structure we call it as a HTML. In the same way, when we are creating web page, first we structure. So this is the header part, body part, and footer part. Like that, first we structure with the HTML using HTML code. Okay, so HTML is used to describe how the content should be displayed on the web browser. So it is describes like, so what are the content you are going to display in the web browser, so that we done with the HTML. So HTML page helps to link all other resources on the server. So whatever the links you are connected in your web page, so those links are connected with the HTML code. Okay, so the client browser sends a request to access the HTML page, and even the server sends the HTML page to client browser as a response. So whatever the request you are sending from the web page, that should be in the HTML, and whatever the response you are receiving from the server, that is also visible in the format of HTML only. Okay, so for that reason we are using HTML in the first basic building block of web page. Okay, so next we'll move on to the history of HTML. So HTML was first invented in 1991. Tim Berners-Lee, he is the first person invented the World Wide Web. So in the year 1991. So that time only the HTML page was invented. So first version HTML 2.0. It is the Internet Engineering Task Force IETF published HTML 2.0 in 1995. So next version is HTML 4.0. It is the worldwide consortium. So I think you heard about double-three schools. W3C means double-three schools. Now they are the community. They are creating and maintaining this web. So took over the responsibility of maintaining the developing HTML standards 1997. So then they are started developing standards, and XHTML 1.0 released in the XHTML 1.0. So that was released by double-three schools. So XHTML is Extensional Hypertext Markup Language. It is the reformulation of HTML 4.0. After the HTML 4.0, so they were developed XHTML. So it is like a XML syntax. So it is aimed to bring HTML and XML closer together. So they are going to combine HTML and XML. Okay, so next version is the HTML5 version. So HTML5 is the latest major version. So it was officially released in October 2008. Okay, so it supports for audio, video, improves forms, and better integration with CSS and JavaScript. So presently we are using the version is HTML5 only. So from that year 2008 to till we are using HTML5 only. So it is the major version developed in the web. Okay, so next move on to the basic structure of HTML. So this is the structure of HTML. So this we call it as a boilerplate code. So boilerplate code means basic code. Okay, so DOCTYPE HTML, HTML lang, eon, head. So I'll explain step by step. Before explaining these things, I will show you the basic HTML code execution. Okay. Okay, I'll show you how to install Visual Studio Code for executing your HTML code. Okay, so I have a video. So you can see, go to web browser and search Visual Studio Code. You will get the first Visual Studio Code website here. So then you download the Windows version. If you are using Mac, you can download Mac. So then when you click download, it starts downloading. So you can see here. So once it starts downloading, wait up to its download. So until its completion of this blue circle, you have to wait. So after completion of this download, you can install in your system. Okay, see, so like this, once it's completes download, you click on there. So once it starts downloading, it will show you, thanks for downloading VS Code for Windows. So once it's showing this message, you have to wait. So once it's complete download, you click on there and it will show your Visual Studio Code file. So then click on that file and double click on the VS Code setup file. So once you double click on the VS Code like this downloaded in your downloads, it will load. So it will ask to click on the agreement. So just click on the accept agreement and click on next button. So it will take you automatically path. So just to select next, don't change the path. So next, click on the next, don't change anything. So if you want desktop icon, click on it. So then click next. If you don't want, leave it. So install. So it will take few seconds to install, depends on your system configuration. So once it completes, so click on finish button. So Visual Studio Code installed in your system. Okay, so then close all the tabs. Now let us open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now create one folder for your HTML code for your future reference. Just I am going to create one folder, that is HTML. Okay, just create this folder anywhere you want in your system. So next I am going to open Visual Studio Code. Then you open that file, what new file you created in HTML, that you have to open folder. I have created a desktop. So this is the HTML folder newly I have created. Click on HTML, select folder. Okay, so now the HTML folder is open. Okay, so let us create first HTML file. Okay, so you can create the file here also, or else you can select here also. So in your new folder, so you can select this new file, new folder. So first we are already folder we have created on desktop. That folder we opened with a file and open folder. Okay, once you click on open folder, so it will take you the file location. So select your file location. So then it will open in your Visual Studio Code. Okay, so VS Code, shortcutly we call VS Code. So now I am going to create the file here. Okay, so first code, so for that reason just hello word only will create. Hello.html should be .html. So whenever you are creating C programming files, .c, right? So whenever you are creating Python, py. So in the same way for HTML we are going to create .html files. Okay, So now the .html file is created. So now we'll execute the code stepwise. Just I'll explain basic syntax here. Okay, so the first syntax, so when we are creating basic structure, so we should remember the basic structure, then inside that basic structure only we are creating our web page. Okay, the first HTML is HTML. First tag is HTML. So when you are typing, it will come there, select it. Okay, otherwise click on. So this is the open tag and this is the close tag. In HTML we are having tags, so open tag and close tag. So this is the first tag we are using. So inside this HTML tag, so we are going to create, so next headers, head section and body section. HTML page is like our web page, right? So in web page we are having, so this is the head section and this is the body part, right? So for that reason it is having the head section, so we are creating the head part. Okay, so this is the head part. So inside this head part we are going to write some statements. So just I'll create title. Okay, so in this title, whatever the tags you are creating, so it will automatically comes in the VS Code because of IntelliSense. Okay, so in this title I am going to write my page. Okay, so this is title page name is my page. Okay, so in head section, after closing the head section, so just I am going to write some body tag. Okay, body tag. So inside body tag we are going to write code of the body section. Okay, so here we are using some different tags. I will explain later what are the tags, what it represents, title, what it represents, head, everything I will explain. Just I am showing you a simple boilerplate code. Okay, so this is the simple code. Just I will show you. Just I'll take a h1. H1 is the heading section. So there are different heading sections are there. So first we are using h1 tag. So inside h1 tag, so I am going to write welcome to my page. Okay, so this is the statement I had written. So just we'll run this page and see the output. Okay, so just go to run button, click on start debugging. If we are having live server, just click on the live server also. Here you will get the live server. So if you are don't having live server, don't worry. So just click on run. So just after once I will tell you once again, click on run and start debugging. So then you will get the web app or web app edge. So whichever the browser you are having, the output will see in browser. So I already told you in the last class, right? So in the basics, so client is accessing the web page through browser, right? So whatever the web pages we are creating, we'll see the output in the browser only. So for that reason we have to select the browser. I'll select Chrome browser. You can see the output in the Chrome browser, right? So I'll show you output and code together. So this is the code we have written, right? So this is the code and this is the output. So HTML head and title, and inside title I had written my page, right? So my page you can see here. This is the tab. Okay, so this is the web browser tab. Here we can see the title name. Whatever the title name you are giving, it will come here. Okay, so next, after closing the head section, I am creating a body part. Inside body part I had written welcome to my page. Okay, so this welcome to my page statement, so I used h1 tag. So for that reason it is look like bold color. Okay, bold black color. So this is the text we typed here, that will come here. Okay, so next I will show you. So without this body part also the page will execute. Just I'll refresh this button, so you will get. So here we are seeing my page, right? Okay, so now I'll show you. Okay. So without head section also the code will execute, no issues. See, without head, so it is showing the page name. Okay, hello.html. So if I did not return title page name, so it will take automatically file name hello.html. so it is printing the h1 tag, whatever we have written in h1 tag. Okay, so without body, head will also work, without head, body will also work. So like this basic code will work. So this is the basic code. So why I am explaining you, so you have to understand the things basically from starting. So which is important, which is not important, you should know. So for that reason I showed you like this. Okay, I'll stop this code running. So we'll go back to basic boilerplate. Okay, so now this is the basic boilerplate structure. So this is the doctype HTML. Okay, first one is doctype HTML. What it represents, doctype HTML? So doctype tells the browser the version of HTML page is written. So presently we are using HTML5 version, right? So for that reason doctype will tell the browser it is the HTML5 version. So whatever the HTML5 tags we are using, it will support. Okay, so this is the first tag we are using. So next, actually this is the advanced structure. What I have explained earlier in the VS Code, that is the basic structure that is defined in the HTML4 version. So that will also execute now. But when we are using HTML5 version tags, so we have to use the tag doctype HTML. Okay, so next is HTML lang is equal to en. So lang means language. So HTML tag is the top level tag. So inside that HTML tag we represent the language. Lang attribute represents, so we call it as an attribute because in HTML tag we are writing the one more attribute. So lang is equal to en means it represents the English language. It is represents the language. So web page when we are creating, we have to tell the browser in which language we are executing the code. Okay, so we are representing it in en. So in different countries, different languages we are using, right? So generally we are using en only. En means English. So next is the head. So head represents the head section of the HTML document. So next is meta cassette is equal to UTF-8. So UTF-8 is a standard character encoding you should use in your web page. Why we have to use UTF-8? So it is a standard character encoding, means so it is converting, if we are writing any special characters in the web page, so it is converting in the UTF format. It is a standard format, so browser will support this UTF encoding format. Okay, whatever the structure special symbols you written in your HTML code, so that will convert it into you already know computer will only understand binary language, right? So in the same way, whatever we have written in a code, it will convert into machine code. In the same way, browser will understand only UTF standards. So for that reason we have to represent UTF-8. So if we have written any special codes, special symbols, so browser need to be understand what is the special symbol, right? So for that reason only we are mentioning the UTF-8. Okay, next is meta name is equal to viewport and content and initial scale is equal to 1.0. So this line represents tag is used to describe metadata. So whatever the data you represents in your web page, so it is going to display in a responsive format, because so if you developed your web page in your system, right? So then when you deploy your web application in the server, so many people will open in a tab, mobile or different screen sizes, right? So every system is having its own different screen size. Some laptops will having 14 inches, some laptops will have screen size 15 inches, right? So big monitors will have big size. So different screen size, it has to be responsive, it has to be adjust the screen size. So for that reason only we are using this line. So for responsive display purpose, we are using the meta name is equal to viewport and content width is equal to device width initial scale 1.0. It will automatically adjust the screen size whatever the page you design. Okay, so next is the title. Title page specifies that HTML page. So whatever the page you are executing, that page it represents. So next is the body part. So body part defines the document's body. So So next one is body and HTML. Okay, so this is the basic HTML structure. Okay, so no need to remember all those things, just you understand the things, that is enough. Now I will show you the shortcut for creating the code. Okay, wait, we have created HTML folder, right? One second. I have opened two, so I'm closing this one. Now we had opened like this, right? So I'll remove all these things. So I will tell you how to create the simple basic HTML structure. Okay, so just I have showed you for HTML4 version, right? Now HTML5 version basic shortcut keys. So just you type shift 1 means exclamatory symbol you are having, right? So type exclamatory symbol, so you will get the basic HTML boilerplate code. You can see here. So exclamatory symbol and click enter, so the basic code will come. Okay, so otherwise one more tip is there. So you can type HTML, so you will get the HTML file. Okay, when you click HTML, it will come like this. Okay, so when you click HTML5, you will get the HTML5 version structure. So then the body part you are going to write the things. Okay, so just I'll print H1. So this is basic boilerplate code of HTML5. Okay, so just I'll run this one. Okay, so the title is document, it is coming. So H1 tag, this is basic boilerplate code of HTML5. Okay, so this is basic code, no need to remember all these meta tags and all, just in VS Code, so it supports. Okay, so it will automatically come. So if you are installed, once again, so go to extensions, just to check HTML extensions are there. So there is a extension which I was installed, open PHP HTML JS in browser, because we have used to. Otherwise you can use this one also, HTML boilerplate. So you can install this one, so it will support for in your VS Code. Okay, if you are not installed also, no issues, because I have installed this one. For this one is supporting for me. So you install this one, HTML boilerplate. So click on install, it will install in your system. It will ask you to install once again. Click on trust, publish and install. So then it is going to install in your system. It will support the basic codes and all. Okay, so if you not installed also, it will work, no issues. If it is not working means you try to install like this. Okay, so these are the extensions will support your code. Okay, so I'll stop this code running. So next move on to the topic. So these things I had explained. Okay, so next, HTML headings. So HTML headings are the titles or subtitles that you want to display on web page. So whatever the web page you are creating, so every web page is having document, right? Document means you are writing text, image, audio, video, anything. So whenever you are writing, you are adding image, for that image also you need to add a heading, right? If you are writing some text, you need to add a heading, right? So for that heading types, you are going to use H1 to H6 tags. These are the heading tags. So just in the example I had used H1 tag. So same H1 to H6 are different tags. Those are all in different sizes. Okay, so here you can see heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. Like this, their heading sizes will come. So if you are using the H1 tag, H1 tag represents the most important heading, means which is the first heading. So next is H6, which defines the least important tag. So this is the last tag you are going to use, which is the least tag. Okay, these are all the basic heading tags we are using H1 to H6. Okay, so in this example you can see HTML headings example. So HTML headings example, basic HTML tag. So inside body we are writing H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Up to H6 we have written different statements. So output, how you can see like this: Abhiyantriks course. Okay, I think Davangere is missed here. Davangere is top one. So Abhiyantriks internships. So this is a different output. Wait.